When I was a kid and exploring the swampy woods behind the neighborhood where I grew up, there was one day when a couple of friends and I came upon a upside down trash can. And inside of that trash can was a smaller trash bin right side up. Inside of that was a trash bag. Not as you would have in your home, but actually inside, wrapped up. Inside of that trash bag there were 5 items. A ring of 3 or 4 keys, an empty liquor flask, a pair of dice, a pocket watch, and some of the filthiest, dirtiest porn mags you could ever imagine. Most of David Lynch's films make me feel the way I felt that day and that night. Having said that, here are David Lynch's 10 feature films ranked in order of my preference for them. Number 10, Wild at Heart. My least favorite on the list, I think it tries too hard at times to out-Lynch Lynch, so it results in, it seems like an unintended self-parody. But it is still worth watching, and I would absolutely love to see a Bobby Peru prequel. Number 9, Dune. I can't even speak objectively about Dune, and it has nothing to do with David Lynch. It has to do with the unfinished Jodorowsky project and what might have been when you consider Orson Welles, Gloria Swanson, I almost said Gloria Steinem, that would be awesome. H.R. Geiger, Salvador Dali, and Pink Floyd. It's a shame that that movie was never made. Number 8, The Straight Story. Unexpected and touching, it's an excellent film. Has one of the most fitting titles. It's more an accomplished piece of filmmaking. It's better crafted than many of the remaining films on the list, but I'm just a weirdo who loves weird things, so that's where it is instead of being higher. Number 7, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Generally underrated in my opinion. Perhaps it was a big disappointment to those who were fans of the show. I didn't see it until 7 or 8, 9 years after the premiere of both, and I watched them all together, binge watched pre-Netflix, and I enjoyed it then, and I still do. Number 6, Blue Velvet. I'm sure most people would have this iconic movie ranked higher, but I think it might be a little due to its position in time during the Reagan 80s. Many parts are still just as shocking and unsettling, but other parts, to me, seem a little dated. However, like the films of John Waters, our perception of suburban life in America was forever changed. Number 5, The Elephant Man. Excellent movie. So well made that when I saw it as a kid, before I knew the names David Lynch or Anthony Hopkins, I thought this was an old black and white film from like the 40s instead of a modern movie. The set, costumes, acting, perfect. Number 4, Lost Highway. This film gets a bit of grief, and possibly for the same reasons that I mentioned as negatives for Wild at Heart, but I love it. I think it's just dark and evil, and the most trippiest of Lynch's unholy sextet. Plus, it has Richard Pryor in his final film role. Number 3, Inland Empire. Lynch's magnum opus is one of the most densely layered movies that I've ever seen. It's variations of Lynchian themes inside of Lynchian themes. There's no way you're going to pick up on everything in the first or even second, third, maybe any viewing, perhaps ever. But that doesn't mean that it can't be understood, and definitely doesn't mean it can't be felt. It's also a fun movie to discuss with someone else that has recently seen it. You can talk for hours and hours about this movie. I also recommend that you watch the 1 hour, 10, 20 minute or so follow-up, addendum, deleted scenes, whatever you want to call it, More Things That Happened. Number 2, Eraserhead. The term Kafkaesque is often too liberally used in my opinion, but it's completely appropriate here. My most recent viewing of Eraserhead occurred soon after the birth of my son, and it was damn near traumatic, and so I recommend it to everyone else in the same scenario. Also, for follow-up viewings, I recommend that you watch it alone, with the lights off, headphones on, because the sound work is truly remarkable. Number 1, Mulholland Drive. It's far from perfect, and it might not even be David Lynch's best work, but it's the one film where everything that I love about Lynch and his films seems to come together to fit perfectly. It's the most well-rounded, and I just think it's excellent. And Naomi Watts, she is as good, as dynamic, and as beautiful in this film as any actress has ever been in any role of any movie ever. For a moment in time, she's a superstar, and Hollywood is the place where dreams come true. Alright, that's it. I'd love to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments below, and you can connect with me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Giddens. Thanks for watching.